Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk to you about something that was on my mind, and that is, when was the last time that you gave your child praise? Yeah. Sometimes we're so overwhelmed, aren't we? We're overwhelmed with all the things that they do that we don't want them to do. And we're so overwhelmed with all the choices that they make that we wish they wouldn't, that we forget. We forget to do that, to praise them for the things that we are proud of them. Because I guarantee, no matter how much you're struggling right now with your child, I guarantee that if you made a list, okay, a naughty list and a good list, no, okay, if you made a list of all the positive things that your child is doing or positive traits that your child has, and you made a list of all the negatives, I guarantee that your positive list is a lot longer than your negative. I guarantee it. Because for one, we're parents, right? We see our children through the eyes of love. So concentrate on those things. If you want to nurture it, praise it more. If you want a child that's more caring and more considerate of others, catch them in the act. As soon as you see them doing something, then praise them for it and really make a big deal about it. I've already talked about currency in past videos, but if you know your child's currency, use it to your advantage. Or no, I'm saying their love language, whatever love language they have, use that to your advantage. One of my lessons in seminary this year was about spiritual gifts. And it's interesting because when you start thinking about spiritual gifts that people have, some people have the gift of compassion, other people have the gift to listen, other people have the gift of knowledge. I mean, there's so many spiritual gifts, right? And so if you think about those things that your children have, and possibly you have, because they're part of you, oftentimes that happens, think about those things. It makes parenting so much easier. And not easier in the sense that it's easy, but easier emotionally and in that sense, it's so empowering as well, because some of the things that we figure or we think might be weaknesses or might be challenges can be turned into strengths. And sometimes we overlook those spiritual gifts that we've been given that we can cultivate in ourselves and in our kids. And so positive praise is one of those things that I think can encourage and can really elevate your parenting. I love, I'm not this type of parent, never was, and I don't know if I ever will get to that point where I get caught up really quickly. I get aggravated quickly, and it's not that I lose my patience, because I have learned a lot of patience, but I get really aggravated when things aren't going the way I think they should be going. And so I really go into that mode of like, okay, I've got to, I'm just like perseverating into that one thing. Okay, that things has to be handled. It has to, it has to go away before I can move on. And so if you see yourself doing that, one way to get out of that rut is to really concentrate on the positive things and try to cultivate those things. And eventually, hopefully, it'll overshadow the negative things that you are stressing about. Let me give you an example. Now, this has nothing to do with any of my kids, but I'm just trying to come up with a random example. For a random example, let's say that you're just stressed. Every time you go by your kid's room, you're stressed to the max because it is a mess. It's beyond a mess, right? Stinks. I mean, the whole nine works, just imagine it. You probably don't have to imagine it, but anyway. And so you're thinking, oh gosh, so every time you see your child or every time you have the opportunity, you're like, so when was the last time you cleaned your room? Do you need help? I can help you, And we say, so, and next time you talk to them and say, if you clean your room, I'll take you out to eat or something, and try and bribe them, right? And then you get in that mode. I know all of us have been there. Well, this is the thing. So one day, maybe you catch your child helping you pick up in the kitchen. Let's say you just had dinner. Or you find your child organizing your cabinets without even being asked, for example. And you're like, you've got a knack for that, don't you? You really do. I like the way that you organize. I like the way that you clean. I wish more kids were like you. Okay? Phase one. Got the positive reinforcement. Instead of telling them, oh gosh, what a pigsty your room is, okay? Say, the other day when you were organizing the cabinets or you're cleaning the kitchen, and you could say, you know, I think that, you know, you could definitely use those skills to make your room look just as good as a kitchen. I bet you could. And then they might come back and say, oh, it's just too overwhelming. I don't think I could do it. Then you can say, well, you know, maybe you could just do a corner of the room. Start with, you know, small, don't have to do the whole room. You know, and tell them, hey, I remember when I was a kid, I remember how much I hated, you know, cleaning my room. And then eventually maybe they're like, you know what, Mom has a point. You know, I can really clean my room. It doesn't have to be done overnight. You know, I can gradually do it. Because remember, executive functioning, it develops at different rates for different kids. So they might think, oh, you know, I can't do it in one day. It's going to take me months to clean my room, right? And that's overwhelming, right? Thinking about that. And so then you can just help them to realize that, you know what, it doesn't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. And so that's the same, you know, for them. And so that's just a room. So imagine the amount of stress that's on for just a room. Imagine that. Well, imagine your life. Imagine that maybe you're overwhelmed with school and overwhelmed with, maybe you're involved in sports and that takes away studying time, and you're stressed because you want to make the grade and you don't want to disappoint Mom and Dad. You know, kids go, you know, there's a lot. I mean, we went through a lot too, but we have to remember that we are where we are and they're going to get there one day, but we have to help them get there. And so positive reinforcement and just being patient with them is the best thing you can do for them. And so I don't know, for whatever reason, I had to share this today with you guys, and hopefully one of you listening to this, maybe it'll resonate with you. And if it does, then it was worth it. As always, good luck on your journey, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.